Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and the subscriber sent the donation. So thanks for your donation. And remember, guys, if you want to guarantee that your question will be answered, make sure you click the link below and send a donation. So this one says, what's up, Mr. Locario? I got an ongoing situation that maybe you can help me with going forward. I'm 5'4". I'm very comfortable with myself, and I wouldn't change my height even if I could. I'm very confident, and I'm pretty sure a lot of women find me attractive and like my personality, but my height stops women from fucking with me. Some don't say it necessarily, but I just know. Recently, I lost out on 2 women I met online due to my height. The first one I met on Tinder. We talked for 3 hours nonstop through messages, exchanged numbers, and texted for the next hour. I ended up bringing up height, and she said she only wanted a man that's 6 feet tall. She said she knew it sounds shallow, but she cut off communication with me right after that. In this case, I put my height in my profile to get it out the way, but she claims she didn't look at it, which I'm not entirely sure how, but maybe she got turned off for another reason. With this other one we met on Tagged, she was real cool and we exchanged numbers. After one convo, I decided to tell her my height because I felt like she was taller than me, and I figured it would be an issue. Long story short, I came up with a dramatic and funny way to tell her, hoping she would realize how dumb the issue was, but she flat out said she doesn't mess with short guys. Now, I know you tell me to mess with women who want to deal with me and try to avoid online dating, but I need something else now because I'm not sure what to do at this point. This issue holds me back from getting sex, and it clearly isn't going to change, so I need a cheat code. Appreciate it. I included text messages from the 2 women. Okay, so basically, I'm not going to go through the text messages with you guys, but I looked at the text messages, and one of the things that I noticed in the text messages when it comes to what you were saying is, when you're dealing with these women, is that you seem to act like you're ashamed or you feel kind of bad that you're short when you're talking to these girls. Because at first you said, yeah, in this email, you said, I'm confident about my height and all this other stuff. But it's almost like when you were going back and forth with these girls, it seemed like you were basically like, getting ready for them to reject you. You know what I'm saying? So you were saying stuff like, oh, here we go again. Yeah, I'm short. I guess you're not going to want to talk to me anymore. You were giving that type of vibe. You feel what I'm saying? So the first thing I want to tell you and any other short guy is don't be ashamed of your height. Okay? Because you may say, and you're saying, oh, I'm confident about how my height and whatever, but then your actions don't really show it when you're interacting with these women. So your actions are telling a different thing. You see what I'm saying? So don't be ashamed of your height. And see, this goes for any, situation when you're dealing with women, because I got to get a little bit deeper. So no matter if you're short, tall, fat, skinny, black, white, whatever the fuck you are, whatever your situation is, do not feel ashamed or feel weird about it or feel like you need to sort of hide this situation. Because what you were also doing was you would sort of bait these girls into a conversation and an interaction with you. Then it's like you drop the, oh, by the way, I'm short. Like it's almost like you wanted to get them to like you. And then you would think that, well, if I tell them I'm short after I get them to like me, then it won't be a problem. You see what I'm saying? So, you were saying that you were talking to this one chick for, texting her for 3 hours nonstop. Then you said exchange numbers and texted for another hour. So basically, you spent 4 hours interacting with the woman. And soon as you told her, hey, or you said to her, hey, look, I'm a short dude, she cut the shit off. You understand what I'm saying? So you wasted 4 hours. So what you were trying to do was, you was trying to get her to, sort of like you first, and thinking that's going to keep her after she, figures out, the height, that she'll be like, oh, it doesn't matter. I like you now. No. This is the same as women who try to make you wait for sex and then hoping that you're gonna like their personality and shit. So after you fuck them, they think, well, he'll stay now because he likes me now. You understand? Like we've been hanging out and talking for this long. So after we have sex, he's not gonna leave because he likes me. No, it don't work that way, right? So the thing is this, is that you need to put all of that shit out on Front Street. Like if you're doing online dating, you said that you put your height on your profile, which is good, right? And the thing is, sometimes women won't necessarily read those things sometimes. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right? But the thing is, even in your messaging, on the site, you want to bring that up quickly through the message, right? So like, let's say you match with a chick on Tinder or whatever, even though it's on your profile, you need to say something about your height quickly. You feel what I'm saying? That should be like probably in your first damn message. Like you match with a chick and you send her a text like, oh, I see you like short guys. You feel what I'm saying? Something so that you can get that out the way. Because what you want to do is you want to see if this chick is actually interested in even engaging with you before you even spend any time engaging with her. You feel what I'm saying? Like you spend 4 hours on a chick who, as soon as you told her you were short, she ain't trying to fuck with you. So if you'd have told her, hey, look, I'm short, at the beginning, you would have got rid of her. You understand? And you wouldn't have had to spend 4 hours, and you just spent 4 hours for nothing. 4 hours you can't get back, right? So you got to, just get that shit out the way. Now, this is the thing you got to understand. And this goes for, not only short guys, but just any guy who feels however he is an issue. You could be black, white, Asian, Indian, skinny, fat, whatever the fuck it is, right? But this goes for everything. But but in this guy's specific situation, it's because he's short, is that you have to understand that there are going to be women who are going to be extremely into you. Then there's going to be women who are sort of so-so, they're somewhat into you. And then there's going to be women who are not into you at all. You understand? So you got the women who are extremely into you, women who are somewhat into you, and women who are not into you at all. All right? This goes for every type of dude. So your situation is you need to find the women who are extremely into you and the women who are somewhat into you. Those which you can work with. The girls who are not into you at all, these are the girls that you were talking to on these online dating sites. So you said you talked to 2 chicks, and both of them, as soon as you mentioned your height, they wasn't interested, right? So there's no, and what I saw in these text messages, it was almost like you were trying to convince them to like you, and guys have to stop doing this. You can't logic your way into pussy. You feel what I'm saying? Even if you're saying something logical, it has to create a feeling within her to make her take action. It's the feeling, the emotion that makes her take action, not necessarily the logic. You see what I'm saying? So you can say some logical shit if it's going to turn into something that's going to create an emotion within her, but you can't just logic your way into it, because in this email, what happened is when I was looking at the messages, he was basically telling the girls like, hey, like I think there was one girl who I think was like 5 foot or something, and he's like, why do you need a guy taller than me? You're 5 feet. You understand? Like, what's the big deal? Like, he's like trying to negotiate with this chick. You feel what I mean? And so it doesn't make sense to try to logic your way into it or to do all this negotiating with these types of chicks. These are the chicks that's just not into you at all. Find the chicks who are into you and find the chicks who are somewhat into you. You can work with those chicks, right? Now, this is the thing. When you are out here, interacting with women, right? You got to understand that there's a difference between dealing with chicks online and dealing with chicks, in person. Like if you used to just go to a bar, club, party, whatever, right? On the street, whatever, right? See, the thing with online is, as a short guy, you can still get chicks online, because what you have to understand is there are going to be some women who, even though you're 5'4", they're not going to give a fuck because they'll still want to fuck with you. There'll be some women who are shorter than you who's like, okay, well, he's taller than me because he's 5'4". Or there's going to be some women who may be taller than you, but might not necessarily make it a big deal if you're actually, interesting. And what it seems like is that, you may have some, some charisma about you where you're able to talk to a chick for 4 hours to get her invested in that manner. So you have a little something going on. You feel what I'm saying? But the thing is, you have to work hard to find those girls. You see what I'm saying? You got to put in a little bit more work if you're doing an online thing. What I would suggest for you to do is to do more things in person. Do more things at bars, clubs, in the street, whatever it is, where you're actually outside talking to chicks in real time. That's going to get you way more results quicker than online. And that goes for every guy. Truthfully, if I'm gonna keep it real. You feel what I'm saying? Usually when you're interacting with women in person, you have more to work with. You understand? See, I'll put it like this. It's like, imagine you're a superhero, right? When you're dealing with chicks in person, you got all your superpowers. When you're online, you're stripped. It's almost like you're stripped of your superpowers because there's so many things you can't do. And there's so many things that are hindering the interaction from being, more beneficial to you. You feel what I'm saying? Because what happens is this. Let's say you swipe a chick on Tinder, right? And because you're online, it's easier for her to sort of, dismiss you. Because all you have is pictures and texting, right? But if you're in person, right, what's going to happen is that you're going to have more to play with. Because while you're in person with her, you're talking to her in real time. You understand? Like, because if you text a girl on Tinder, she can wait 2 hours to text you back. You feel what I'm saying? But if you're in person, you can go back and forth with her, right? So let's say if you're online, what happens is she looks at your profile, she's like, oh, this guy's short, and that'll be it. And she'll just cut it off completely because of that. Now, that girl, she could have been a girl who could have probably been into you or somewhat into you at some, in a different situation if you were actually in person. So let's say that same girl you met at a networking event or whatever. And you just start talking to her. And because you're talking to her in real time, even though she's seeing that you're short, right? You may have done something or said something in that interaction that made her warm up to you. You feel what I'm saying? Because of you being able to have more to play with in that situation. You see what I'm saying? But with the online thing, she may have been a girl who could have been somewhat into you, but because she just saw that you was 5'4" or whatever, she didn't really take you too seriously. You feel what I'm saying? So you may go back and forth with a conversation with her, but she may take longer to reply to you. She's not going to be as, jumping up and down to get at you because she's not extremely into you like that. You see what I'm saying? But even if she's not extremely into you like that, if you were to talk to her in person, there's more for you to play with. You understand? So this is the thing. You have to be able to find the girls who are extremely into you and the girls who are somewhat into you. Those are the girls who you can actually make stuff happen. Do not try to convince the girls who are not into you at all. Do not try to convince the girls that's going to cut you off at that moment. You see what I'm saying? See, I'll use myself as an example, right? So one of the things that, has, I would say, been an issue for me is, with me being in an open relationship, there's a lot of women who wanted to fuck with me, but didn't after they realized I was in an open relationship. You understand? But I still got chicks, even though I was in an open relationship. Right? But I would have probably had more if I wasn't. But see, what happens is that what I would do is I would just find the women who were extremely into me. Or I would find the women who were somewhat into me and finesse it if I wanted to really make it happen. Right? But I do know that if I was probably single, I would have got way more chicks. I would have probably got all those other chicks who, you understand what I'm saying, would have fucked with me if they knew I didn't have, you know, a wife or a girlfriend. So the same thing happens when you're a short guy or whatever. Yeah, if you were taller, there probably would have been a larger number of women who would have fucked with you. But even though you're not tall, there are still a large number of women who will fuck with you because they are down with who the fuck you are. They'll still want to fuck with you. Just like I still have a large number of women who want to fuck with me, even though I have a wife and a girlfriend. You understand what I'm saying? But what happens is, in order for me to get those chicks, I got to put in the work to find those chicks. So the same way you have to put in the work to find those women. Because notice, you only talked to me about 2 girls in this email. Only 2. You see what I'm saying? So don't let that be the thing that makes you feel like, oh my God, it's over. You know, don't turn all black pill on me and shit. Because this is how these dudes do out here, where they think, oh, well, because I'm short, I could never get a girl, which is bullshit. You understand? Oh, because I'm this and because I'm that, I can't get a girl, which is bullshit. You got to go out there and find the chicks that want to fuck with you. Another thing too is this. And this is why I love the fucking game, man. Because look, because it seemed like you got some charisma, you might have a good mouthpiece, so you just need to go out there and hit the streets and get it popping. See, I know this short guy, right? Who he would talk to certain women, but what happened was, and this is what I was talking about earlier, about not being ashamed of your height and how you could use that and use it to your advantage. Because I knew this short guy who, you know, I used to see at like events that I would go to or whatever. He was about like maybe like 5'5", 5'6", something like that. You understand what I'm saying? And so he would be talking to girls who were like, you know, 5'11", 5'10", you know, even taller girls sometimes out, you know, that if you would see a girl who was probably 6 foot here and there, you understand? Like, you know, he didn't give a fuck. So what happened was, instead of being ashamed of his height, right, he would actually, you know, use that in conversation while he's talking to the girl. So sometimes what happened is he would talk to certain girls and they would be, you know, some of them might be his height, some of them might be shorter, some of them might be a little bit taller. But no matter what, you know, the situation was, right, he was always confident in the situation. And then when he would talk to a girl who was taller, right, and he could sort of see, let's say, for example, he could sort of see and tell when a girl was like somewhat into him, right? He could tell she wasn't extremely into him, but he could also tell she was not the type of girl who's not into him at all. You understand? He could tell she was sort of in the middle, right? So I remember one time I was at an event or whatever, and I'm chilling when I'm talking with him, whatever, and, you know, we talking to these girls, right? And so I'm talking to one chick and he's talking to another chick, and there was a point where I was like listening to what he was saying. Even while I was talking to the other chick, I was kind of peeping his conversation a little bit. So he's sitting, you know, on this, it's like these couches we were on, and I'm sitting next to him, and the other girl is on his side, and the girl I'm talking to is on my other side. So it's like the girl he's talking to, him, then me, and then the other girl that I'm talking to next to me, right? So I'm basically next to him so I can hear what he's saying. So he's talking to this chick, and he says to this girl, he says, yo, you ever been fucked by a short dude? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, what? And she starts laughing and shit, right? And he's like, no, I'm serious. Have you ever been fucked by a guy shorter than you? You know what I'm saying? And then she's like, no, not really. He's like, so you want to try it? What's good? You know what I mean? So like he's finessing the situation. He got this girl laughing and enjoying herself and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't even know if he particularly fucked that chick. All I remember was he got information, you know, and so I don't know. He could, I don't know what it was. But either way, he was not letting the fact that he's short, you understand, stop him from making shit happen. He's just out there going after what he wants, find the chicks who want to fuck with him, and then he does that. You see what I'm saying? Again, like I said, you're going to run into the three types of women. I always talk about this. The women who are extremely into you, the women who are somewhat into you, and the women who are not into you at all. The girls who are not into you at all, don't worry about them. Don't try to convince them to fuck with you. You know, don't try to, beg them to be with you. None of that. You know, keep that shit pushing. The girls who are extremely into you, those are the ones who's going to be, you know, showing you extreme interest off the bat. You feel what I'm saying? They're going to be feeling you. They're going to be about what it is. And, you know, it's a little bit easier with them. All you got to do is not fuck it up by doing too much stupid shit. And then the girls who are somewhat into you are the girls that you can get if you got a tight mouthpiece, you got that charisma, you got that shit popping off. So it doesn't matter if you're short, tall, skinny, fat, you know, dark, light, whatever the fuck you think it is. You feel what I'm saying? But the thing is, you have to find the chicks who want to fuck with you, right? And this is the last thing I want to say, you know, before I end this. The problem with a lot of you guys out here, and this is the main reason why y'all have trouble in the game, and I see this all over the internet with a bunch of goofy ass niggas, talking a bunch of nonsense, is that the problem with a lot of dudes out here nowadays is they're comparing themselves to other men. So you might have a short guy who says, oh, damn, well, that guy over there who's 6 foot, you know, it's easier for him because he's 6 foot. No shit, really? Like, oh my God, you came to that conclusion. How? Like, that's amazing that you came to that conclusion. Like, that's incredible. Like, you're a fucking genius. Like, wow. Like, what? Like, thanks for even talking about that, because, you know, nobody knew that 6 foot guy is going to get more attention than the 5'5" guy from a large number of women. Really? Who knew? But see, my thing about that is this. Who gives a fuck? Because if you're that 5'5" guy, when that 6 foot dude is fucking a chick, your dick is still dry. You understand what I'm saying? So what you need to do is you need to find the girls that like you and stop comparing yourself to motherfuckers. You understand? You have to find the women who like you. Because that same 6 foot dude, there's going to be other chicks who's rejecting him because they don't like the way his face look. You understand? They don't like his fucking personality. All these other different things as to why some girls are not going to want to fuck with him. The same way some girls are not going to want to fuck with you, some girls are not going to want to fuck with him. The same way some girls are going to want to fuck with him is the same way some girls are going to want to fuck with you. You just have to find the girls who want to fuck with you. It's that simple. Click the link below to get the ebook 60-Second Game. In this book, you'll learn how your confidence, verbal communication skills, appearance, response to rejection, and honesty can affect your game. Click the link below to get your copy today. Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. What's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.